Kevin Gordon here from Autosavant.com with your February 28th edition of the Afternoon Commute. Couple things for today. Apologies for not being on yesterday. The combination of some site updates for Autosavant.com as well as a pair of sick children conspired against me to never get a chance to get at the old GoPro. To start today, go through some of the stuff from the upcoming Geneva Auto Show, starting with a upcoming update to the Command Nav interface for Mercedes-Benz. They leaked some pictures today onto the web, and I don't know if leaked or released is really the proper term. And it's a much improved looking interface. If you know the Mercedes Command interface, it really does look dated, despite the fact that they've kept up with screen resolution and the like. It's just this tan and black, very bland, in some ways, in my opinion, very Mercedes look and feel to it. And they're changing that to a much more 3D interface. The initial color set they showed was black and red. And it's going to be launching on the A-Class, or the smallest of the Mercedes, and it's going to be available down to the very base levels of their stereos. So unlike the typical Mercedes, which is all of the good tech appears on the S-Class and then filters down, they're launching this with the A-Class, and it should actually then jump into the rest of their line of cars as we move through the year. Expect to see it in the US sometime in the fall time frame. Here's the kicker. It's going to have really tight integration to the iPhone, so much so that it will give you the ability to use SIRI, the Apple personal assistants, directly through your car. So one of those things not everybody may know is the fact that you can sort of already use SIRI with your car today. At least, say for example, in our F-150, I've got my iPhone here. I'm now actually connected through the Bluetooth, which you probably can't see, but I'm actually talking through Bluetooth, through the Bluetooth speaker to the car. So if I start over, set a reminder to wake me up at 6 a.m. tomorrow.
Here's your reminder for tomorrow at 6 a.m. It says, wake me up. Shall I create it?
Yes. So, I think what Mercedes is actually doing is they're just basically putting the Siri button somewhere in the car to allow it to directly turn that on. But it's a step towards much tighter integration with an iPhone specifically, which is a bit interesting. I have one and they do sell a ton of them, but they are not the most dominant platform out there. Android as a phone operating system is still a larger share of the market, and in places like Europe, Apple has even less of a footprint. So it's interesting to see the luxury car manufacturers, BMW and Mercedes, for example, so tightly committing to Apple's technology. Also part of the Geneva Auto Show, Kia released pictures of their upcoming flagship model that's currently codenamed the K9, which is a good-looking car. Pictures of it I'll give to you here. It's based off of the Genesis platform. It's another example of the Hyundai-Kia platform sharing strategy. And you can expect it to share drivetrains with the Genesis. I think from a looks perspective, it looks good, in my opinion, better than the Genesis. It sort of looks like the love child of a 7 Series BMW. an Aston Martin and a Kia Optima is sort of the three things I think if you merge together is what you get. And that's not an insult, you know, those three things merged together looks quite nice. So look for that. Its official debut coming up here in the next couple of days. I think next week will be the press days of Geneva. Also, Geneva Auto Show related, the Range Rover Evoque that caught so much praise by the media and actually won some Car and Truck of the Year awards. There will be a Evoque convertible concept shown at Geneva, which there's pictures out, which one of them is also right here. I am highly disappointed, you know. You'd think they would have learned from the Murano convertible and the fact that it really wasn't much of a success. But I'm sure they'll sell them. You know, it's just another abomination, but whatever. Number 4 for today. I have good news for all of you fans of Fisker out there. You know, the makers of the Karma. They have a new CEO. That slim, fast, slinging former Dodgers baseball coach, Tommy Lasorda. Oh, wait, I'm getting something here. It's not the baseball coach, Tommy Lasorda. It's Tom Lasorda, the former CEO of Chrysler during the SIRI days, who's going to become the CEO of Fisker. Interestingly enough, he put some of his own money into the company and will now be the CEO. So I basically think this is the end of Fisker. You know, the Hendrik Fisker, the founder and CEO, has stepped down. They're bringing in a new CEO who's bringing his own injection of cash to the company. It's not looking good. And finally for today, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the NHTSA, is putting something in front of Congress tomorrow to mandate backup cameras for all cars starting in 2014. So following the lead of traction control and airbags and ABS, they're looking to make this another mandate. And the source that they're using to try to push through their reasoning for this, I have to look down, is this group called Kids in Cars, which shows the statistics of the fact that 225 people a year are killed by being backed over, and the large majority of them are under 5 years old. As far as I'm concerned, this is fine. I think that it gets into a bit of a gray area, but in cars like this one, where in all honesty the tailgate is so high you can't see anything behind you when you're backing up, it makes a lot of sense. In little hatchbacks where you've got great visibility behind them, it makes a little less sense. I understand that having variable rules make everything a little bit more difficult, so I don't know if I support it or not. I guess I'm hedging bets a little bit here. The expected cost per car is in the, I think, $250 per car range. The statistics currently are that its rear view cameras are available on 45% of cars, and the take rate of them in 2012 is expected to be up around the 30% mark. So, in the next 18 months, because if you think about product cycles, you'd be adding one to almost 70% more cars. So that's a pretty big change. I think it's the largest jump of any of these things so far compared to ABS brakes and airbags and mandating those and traction control. So should be interesting to see what Congress does with that tomorrow. And that's all I had for the day. I'm Kevin Gordon from AutoSavant.com, and I look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow.